Hi guys and welcome back. This is Mike Hermes at Image Tutorials, and today we're going to do another subscriber request. Alright, now before we get into that, just on a personal note, today is the 11th of November, and for those of you living in the US, you know what that means, so I just wanted to say a very big thank you. Not going to go into great detail on that, you know what I mean, okay? So, to get to today's tutorial, Liberty Bell was a request, okay? So let's get into that. We are going to start with a polygon cylinder. We're going to drag that out in the grid. We're going to pull that up. We're going to go to Polycylinder tab, increase subdivision to 60, and height, we're going to leave that, well, we can actually put a few in, let's say 5. And for caps, 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to right click, go to face, select the top one, delete it, select the bottom one, and delete it. We're going to switch to our front view, hit 5, go to object mode, 5 for shaded mode, and I got my X-ray mode switched on, this button here. Okay, I'm going to pull the object up over here, hit F to zoom in, and let's hit R and scale that in until we are roughly in line, so we can hit W and make sure it's centered, something like so. Alright, so now that we got that, what we're going to do next is we are going to right click, go to edge, drag select the bottom edge, and shift drag select these vertical edges so we can pull this down to about here. Okay, we're going to do the same up top, drag select that, shift drag select the vertical ones, so we just got the top edge selected and pull that up to about there. Okay, we're going to put in a couple more edge loops down here, edit mesh, insert edge loop tool. Let's put one here, 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 and here. Hit Q on your keyboard. Now let's start to get this into shape. Right click vertex, drag select these, hit R, and start to scale that out. As you can see, we're not quite centered yet. At least I don't think so. It's a bit hard to see with the shining going on, but we'll take it from there. Do the same here. Same here. And we're just going to start to pull that out and into shape. And we'll add edge loops as we move forward and as we need them. Okay. So I'm just dragging those. I'll take the bottom one here to something like that. Okay, we'll move up. I'm going to get that one, bring that one in a little bit, maybe bring that one in a little bit. That one looks okay. Let's bring this one in just a little. And let's put some up here as well. Edit mesh, insert edge loop. We'll do one there, one there, one there. Hit Q on the keyboard, right click vertex, drag select, hit R, scale it in just a little, scale that in something like that. Take these two and bring that down like that. We're going to hit F to zoom in on the top section here. I'm going to right click, go to edge, drag select that top edge again, shift drag select the vertical ones, hit W, and we're going to pull that up to about there. Go to edit mesh, insert edge loop, and we're just going to add a few to allow us to create the shape that we're looking for, and hit Q. Right click vertex. Actually, we'll drag select all of these. Hit R, start to scale that in. Drag select -1 row. Repeat that, -1 row, not 1 row, 1 row, sorry. Right click the top two. And we're starting to get the shape of our bell. Okay. Now there's something going on up here. There's a little, and I'll show you in this view here. You've got this little thing on top here, so that's what we're going to deal with next. So what we're going to do is we are at this point here, right click edge, double click on the top edge, edit mesh extrude, hit W and erase that just a little. Hit G to repeat that, R to scale that out, like that, W to lift that edge a little bit, G to repeat that again, R to scale that in, and W to pull that up again, like so. Okay. Then we're going to go to Edit Mesh Extrude, hit W, and we're going to pull that up. We're going to go to this view here, and we're going to add a few edge loops. So Edit Mesh, insert edge loop, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit Q, right click Vertex. We're going to drag select these, and we're going to start to scale them in to get that rounded shape that we see. Okay, so a bit more, a bit more. Take the the top two, sorry, a bit more, and the last one, and we're going to bring that way in. All right, let's see what we got, which will give us something like this that we have so far. Okay, now you see these little edges. We've got 2 lines here, 1 line, 3 lines, and we got a few down here. Okay, so that's what we're going to deal with next. All right, so 2 at the very top. We'll go to this view here, and they're somewhere around here. So for that, we're going to go to Edit Mesh, insert Edge Loop tool, and for each little line that's sticking out, we need 3 edges. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 there and 1 there. This gives us 3 lines for 1, and 1, 2, 3 for the second one. Okay, then we got 2 lines here. So that's 1, 2, 3 for the first one, 1, 2, 3 for the second one. We got 1 down here, 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 down here, which is 1, 2, 3 for the first one, 1, 2, 3 for the second one, and 1, 2, 3 for the third one. We're going to go down to this area here. Here we've got 3 of them. So again, 1, 2, 3 for number 1, 1, 2, 3 for number 2, and 1, 2, 3 for number 3. And we'll tweak those in a second. And then down here we've got 2. So that's 1, 2, 3 for the first one, and 1, 2, 3 for the second one. Okay. Now let's see if the spacing is 1, 2, 3. That one needs to be spaced out a bit more. That looks fairly okay. Then these we got. Let me think. 1, 2, and we'll take that one, bring that down. So we've got 3 there, and we got. Let me think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Then here, that looks pretty okay. 1 in the middle there. We got that one in the middle. We got that one in the middle. Okay. And down here looks about right. Okay, so now we're going to select these lines, and what we're going to do is we're going to select the middle one. Okay, So one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there, and it's a shift double click to get them all. We're going to scroll up. Okay, so that is one there, and one there, and one there, one there, one there, and one there, one there, and one there. So we got all of those. Okay, we're going to switch to our perspective view. We're going to go to we're going to hit R, and we're going to start to pull that out. Okay, and we need to make sure that it's going out and not out and up. Okay, so if we zoom in a little bit, you can see that we need to pull that down a bit to get that level, something like so. All right, cool. So now that we've got that, we need to deal with the thickness. Okay, so we've got the rough shape of the bell so far. Right-click Object Mode, select the bell, Edit Mesh, Extrude, hit R, and scale it out a little bit, just to give it some thickness. Okay. Now, again, we need to make sure that when we do that, that it's going out and not out and up. Okay. So again, we're going to take this and oops, make sure that that looks clean. And we can check that by looking at the bottom of the bell. That looks about right. Cool. So now that we've got that, we're going to deal with the section on top of the bell, this section here. Okay. Now they are somewhat odd shaped, but that's fine. We're going to start by creating a polygon cube, and we're going to pull that up. All right. Make sure it's nice and square. So go to your polycube tab, and let's do width 3, depth 3, and height. That's fine. And we'll scale this down in a sec. Okay. So we're going to right click, go to face, select that face, edit mesh, extrude, hit W, pull that up, and pull it out like so. Hit G to repeat that, pull it up again, something like that, and pull it forward just a bit. Okay. Hit G to repeat that once more. Pull it up. E to rotate. R to scale. So, sorry, got the wrong thingy. Yep, okay. G to repeat. W to pull out. Something like that. G to repeat. E to rotate. To about that, and then pull forward. Okay. G to repeat. Pull down to about there, and we can tweak this in a sec if we need to. Okay, and that looks about right. We're gonna do, yeah, we're gonna leave it like that. Okay, let's check it from this angle here. We're gonna cancel our X-ray mode, and we're just gonna tweak this a little bit. Right-click vertex, drag select this guy. Just gonna pull that out, maybe so. Push that up. Actually, that's not too bad. We're definitely gonna take that one to about there. Just to a point where you feel that it looks okay, right? Something like that. All right. And maybe we're just gonna take this top section here, go to our top view, hit F, 5 for shaded mode, right right-click vertex, drag select that whole thing, and bring that back in a little. Let's see what's that going to do for our total shape. Okay, and select these here, I'll pull it up a little. That looks a bit better. Okay, so now we got this. I'm just going to quickly get my bell here, right-click object mode, move that out of the way. We're going to take this guy, and we are going to go to our top view, hit the insert key, move your pivot point over here, and then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate. And make sure you are at at 180, like so. Okay. And then you're going to take these two, mesh, combine, hit E to rotate, modify center pivot. Oh, I didn't Control D yet. Control D to duplicate. And let's do -90. Okay. Which will give us this shape here. Now, I'm not sure how square these things are. Not very, but nevertheless. Select the whole thing. Mesh, combine. And let's see what they look like if we soft select them. Now, I don't really like that, so I'm going to go back to hit my 1 on the keyboard. Just get this picture, move it out of the way a bit. So we're going to add some subdivision to that, which will allow us to get a bit tighter shape. Go to Edit Mesh, insert Edge Loop tool, and we're just going to put a couple in near the edges. If it allows me to do that. This should help. Back to perspective view. Right click object mode. Make sure you hit Q on your keyboard. Hit 3. That looks a lot better. Object mode. We're going to hit R. We're going to scale this thing down quite a bit. Get our bell back in play. So hit W, move that over. Get this thing. Go to our top view and start to get this thing centered. Modify center pivot. Pull that over. Pull that up. We're going to check this view here and see how far we need to bring that down. So hit R, scale it in quite a bit. Something like that. Hit W, pull it down, which brings us pretty close, I think. Yeah, a bit more. Make sure we're nice and centered here. 4 for wireframe mode. Let's get this nice and clean. So that looks about centered, and there we go, that looks a bit better. Which gives us this, all right. And, all right, cool. So that is our bell. Now we need to deal with the crack in the bell and the inscription. But before we do that, we're going to combine these two. So mesh, combine, like that. Okay. Let's see if we are going to Yeah, what we'll do is we'll deal with the stuff that's holding up the bell as well. We'll do it complete. Okay. So I'm going to create a bolt. So create a polygon symbol like that. Pull that up. I'm going to increase subdivisions to 40. Select that guy. Hit E to rotate that to 90 degrees, like so. We're going to hit W, and we're going to start to move that into place. Switch to this view here. As you can see, I need to hit R and scale that down quite a bit. And hit W and start to move that up there. Let's see if the length is okay. Just check my top view. That looks about right. Control D to duplicate that. We're going to pull that over and check it from this view. So these two look about okay. And that looks pretty similar to what's going on here. So now we need to create a couple of bolts. All right. So for that, we are going to create a, believe it or not, a polygon cylinder. We're going to pull that out, something like that. We're going to go to our tab, and we're going to bring that back to 5, which will give us this shape right here. Hit E to rotate that until we are at 90 degrees, like so. We're going to take that thing, hit W, bring that in and up and close. Hit R, scale it in quite a bit. F to zoom in. And let's check it from this view here. Hit W and start to move that in and down. 4 for wireframe mode, so we can see that a bit better. Okay, and let's put that in the center. And we're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. Pull it over, hit F to center that. And we're going to hit E and rotate it a bit because we don't want them to be at exactly the same angle. Okay. Now we need to bring them in both, so select both, hit W, and bring them in until they're on the bolts. And it looks like we can bring that in a little bit. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so we're going to bring them in quite close, something like that. And actually, I'm going to scale this guy down a bit. Hit R. That looks a bit better. Okay. So we'll just get rid of this. And okay, we'll hit Control D to copy that. W to move it over. Like so. We're going to select these two. Control D to copy them. Pull them over back here. Looks about right. Okay. So then we got some bars holding them up. All right. So for that, we are going to create a polygon cylinder, nice and thin and long. Okay. Go to the polycylinder tab. This one, yeah. 40 subdivisions, like so. Select it. Go to your animation tab. Create deformers, nonlinear and bend. And let's go to our bend tab. Let's see. Oh, I forgot something, guys. I'm sorry. Control Z. I have to go back a few steps. What I need to do is add height. quite a bit. Otherwise, it's not going to bend. All right. So I got that. Animation tab, create deformers, nonlinear bend. All right. Let's go to our bend tab. And let's bend that at -90, like so. Okay. We're going to select it, edit, delete by type, history. We're going to go in and hit F to zoom in. Here it is. And we're going to right click, go to face, and we're going to drag select half of that. So like that. And we're going to hit delete. Okay. Now you're probably thinking, where is he going with this? I'll show you. Right click object mode. I'm going to zoom in right here. Right click edge. Double click on that edge. And we're going to pull that up like so. All right. Right click object mode. Select that. Switch to this view here. Hit the insert key and bring that pivot point down and over to the outer edge just here. Like that. Hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, and rotate that around by -180, which will give us this bracket here. Select these two, go back to your polygon menu, go to edit mesh and, to mesh and combine, right? And now we're going to go to modify center pivot. We're going to rotate this around by -90. And we're going to start to move that into position. Okay. First of all, we need to scale it down quite a bit. Hit W, move that over. I'll hit 5 for shaded mode and then hit my X-ray button so we can see it a bit better. Okay. We're going to move that up. We're going to move that to about here. Looks like we need to make it a bit thinner still. So we're just going to do that. Hit R. Just something like so. Hit W, move it down just a bit. And then hit your insert key. Bring the pivot point down to the bottom of your bracket. Hit E. And rotate that into place, like so. Let's see what this looks like from over here. Hit F to zoom in. Okay, we need to hit W. We need to bring it in like that, which looks good. And I don't know how wide these brackets are. They're fairly wide, but we'll bring them in just a little bit. So hit R and just bring them in something like so. Okay, so that looks about right. We're going to go back to this view here. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. Hit W, move that over to here. It's hard to see. Hang on. Okay. We're slightly off-centered from the original, but that's okay. Our central pivot point is where it should be. Hit E and rotate that. That looks about right. Okay. So now that we got that, we can create two flat brackets for the top. So we're going to create a cube. We're going to pull that out and pull that up, something like that. Yeah, it looks about right. Go to our top view, hit W, start to move that into position so we can see what we're talking about. Bring that up, hit F to zoom in. Okay, obviously way too big, so scale it in quite a bit. something like that. Hit W and pull it over, something like so. Maybe a bit higher up. So let's check that from this view here. Something like that. Hit Control D. And we're going to move one over here as well. And now we're going to take one of these. Hit Control D. Pull that up. We're going to hit E to flip that over. Let's see, that should be 0, 0, 0 for now. Okay, we're going to look at our top view. And we're going to hit W. We're going to start to move that towards where we need to be, which is about there. Hit R, scale that in a little bit. And the best view for this is our perspective view. So let's hit W, pull that down. And as you can see, these are at an angle, right? So we're going to bring that in, hit E, and we're going to rotate that a little bit. We'll do that from this view. Hit F to zoom in. W. Let's do something like that. Okay. All right, that looks about right. Control D to duplicate that. We're going to bring that one over to here. Looks about right. And then we're going to take these two, mesh combine, modify center pivot, Control D to duplicate, pull them over there, F to zoom in, and E to rotate. And maybe W to pull them back just a little, like so. All right. So we've got that whole bracket system going on. Now, I'm not necessarily going to model this shape here. What I will do is I will create a bar to hold it up, okay, or a beam, if you will. So we're just going to create something like that. Pull that up. Hit R, scale it in quite a bit. F to zoom in. We're going to switch to this view here. Hit W to move that into position. R to stretch that out a bit. And maybe, give it some more thickness. Not too much. W to bring that down. Actually, it looks like it's almost touching, so we'll give it a bit more. Hit 4 so you can see it. All right. So where are we at? We need to bring it back a little bit. Hit W, push that up. Still tweaking, as you can see. It's just inside the round section of the bar there. So what I can do is take this, right click edge, top select these two edges, and pull that up to the plate. Like that. Okay. So we got all that. Now, let's see what we can do about the text on the bell. All right, just quickly checking how we're doing on time, guys. Okay, so text on the bell. Now that is going to be very, very tricky, right? I'm going to try it anyway. Okay, now I got the text, which is this. This is the top line. That is the second line, and that is the text in the middle. All right. So we're going to start with this, and I'm just going to copy that, and we're going to go to create text. No, that's not what I wanted. Create text option box. What's that all about? That is a project that I'm working on. There we go. I'm not getting. Okay. So this is the entire text that we got. And I'm not going to check it on spelling and all that kind of stuff. I copied it, so it should be okay. I'm going to select create. Minimize that. Okay. Now this is right now, it's one object, okay? So we're going to hit R and we're going to scale that down a lot. And I mean a lot. The thing is, when I start to wrap around this text here, it should cover the bell once and not more than once. Okay, so I got something like that, okay? I'm going to hit W. I'm going to pull that up and pull that out. Okay. Now, the thing is, I should be, I need to rotate this by 360. But first, I need to see if the text will fit in between. So I'm going to hit 5. And it looks like it will. Actually, fairly easily. Okay. And the other text will be here. So next, what I'm going to do is I got my text here. I'm going to go to animation, create deformers, nonlinear, and bend. Now, my bend deformer is vertical. I need it to be horizontal. So select it, hit E, and start to rotate that until you're at 90 degrees. And why is it not at 90 degrees? Just undo that. Hang on. Looks like I got the wrong handle. There we go. Minus 90, like that. Okay. And now we're just going to check to see if we got the right angle or not. And no, we do not. So I need to rotate that again to minus 90. And now let's try it. Okay, that's better. And we need to curve that exactly 180 degrees, and we did. Okay, so now I'm going to select that, go up to Edit, Delete by Type, History, take my text, and I'm going to start to move that in position. So, modify center pivot. We're going to start to move that in, like that. Hit F to zoom in. Let's see if we can get this nice, and that should be about centered. And now we need to hit R and start to scale that out to a point where we can see the text. Now it's hard to see, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assign new material, Lambert, black, so we can see it a bit better. Okay, so that's our top line text, which is cool. Looks okay. Now we're going to go to the second line of text, and for that, I'm just going to take that here, copy, go up to create text option box, get rid of that. Control V, create. And there is our very huge text. We're going to hit R. We're going to scale that in big time. Takes a while. Hit F to zoom in. Okay. We're going to hit W. We're going to move that up here. And again, make sure that our text will fit between those lines. And actually compare them to that size there. As you can see, I need to scale it down a bit more to about that. Okay. I'm going to pull that down. That's going to fit nicely. So we got that text. Okay. So now, again, animation, create deformers, nonlinear, and bend. We need to rotate that bend deformer. So hit E to rotate. And we're gonna rotate by minus 90. And if I remember correctly, 90. And let's see if I do remember correctly. Bend. And there we go. 180. Fine. Select our text. There we go. Edit, delete by type. History. Take that text. Modify center pivot. Go to our top view. Hit W, start to move that in position. Hit F. And let's get that into the middle here. That looks about right. Actually, that looks exactly right. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, hit R, scale that out. That looks good. Okay, and again, I'll just put on some color here. Okay, cool. Now for the text in the front. We're going to go here. We're going to take this here. Copy. Actually, it's probably something like that. Copy that. Okay, there we go. We are going to go to create text option box. Get rid of that. Control V. Create. Okay, there's something going on here that is not allowed for some reason. Not sure what. Let's try that again. That should be fine. Maybe that's it. Not quite sure what the problem is, guys. Once more, text option box. Now, I'm going to do this. That's not the problem. Okay. Now, we've been on this for quite a bit, so I'm just going to skip that text for now. I know it's not the way it's supposed to be, but I don't want to, kind of mess up the tutorial. So we're going to deal with the crack in the bell. Okay, let's see if we can make that work. All right. Okay, so you got an idea how to do the text thing. Maybe you won't have that problem. I don't know what the reason is, but anyway, there we go. All right. Now, let's see if there's anything we can do to recreate this. Okay. Well, let me see. I'm going to select this. It's a bit hard to see, but we're going to go to Polygon, Edit Mesh, Interactive Split Tool. I'm not going to follow it exactly, right? So I'm just going to take some creative liberty on this, if you don't mind. Let's hit enter. All right. So right click, edge. That's not what I want. Okay, we're going to go to face. And we're going to delete those faces. And maybe down here. Just clean that up a little bit. And we'll do one, we'll do one down here. So edit mesh, interactive split tool, from there to there. Let's see if that works. Take that, that. Okay. Now, the edges that do not have openings are not going to show, so we need to address that. So, interactive split tool, we'll do that, and we'll do that. Enter. Right click face. Okay, so we got that. We'll do the same here. Edit mesh, interactive split tool. We'll do that, and we'll do that. And he didn't take interactive split tool. We'll do that and that. That should work. Face, delete, and delete, which gives us a pretty severe crack in the ball, right? Okay. Okay, now let's give some texture to this, all right? Still a little bit bummed about that text there. I'm just going to give that one more try, okay? So this is the text that we were going for. Sometimes you're just going to run into a problem with something and you're not quite sure why. It takes a lot of time to figure it out. And in the meantime, you know, your whole tutorial is on hold, so that's what we don't want. Okay? No, it's not going to happen. All right. Okay, so we're going to select our image. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to take our wood. We're going to right-click, assign new material. Let's go initially with a Lambert. We're going to hit our checkered box here. We're going to type wood. Select that. And we're going to change the color a bit because this is really old and green. So we're going to make that nice and dark. Okay. And then we'll take something that is brownish but also fairly dark. And let's see what that will look like. That's not too bad. Okay. Now for the bell. First I'm going to select this stuff, right? So the nuts and bolts, so to speak. So we got those. We got all that stuff. We got the brackets. We got the nuts up here. Right click, assign the material. Actually, we're just gonna do a Lambert, and we'll select black. That's fine. Okay. Now for the bell itself. The text should show up if we apply the same material, so that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to select all the text as well. Right click, assign new material, MIA_X, material tab, presets, copper, and replace. And we're going to tweak these settings because that's going to be way too bright. This is beat up, old, and so forth, right? So we're going to select this color here, and we're going to go with that's maybe too dark, something like that, maybe even here. And again, this is trial and error, right? We need to tweak until we have what we're looking for, and we'll brighten that up just a bit. Okay, so we got that. Reflectivity, let's give it a try at 1.2, maybe still a bit more glossy, 0.5. I'm going to create a ground plane for this. Actually, I'm not, sorry. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an image. So go to mental ray, indirect lighting, select the global illumination, and go to image-based lighting and hit create. And while we're here, go to quality tab to about 1.5. And in our common tab, let's increase the image size to HD 1080, like so. We're going to set up some additional lighting. So create lights and point light. And we'll hit W and pull that up. Pull it out to about here. Hit Control D to duplicate that once. Pull it down a bit. Shift select both. Go into the point light to shadows. Select ray trace shadows, like so. Adjust settings to 4 and 12. Go back to your render settings. Into your quality tab, ray tracing, make sure it's selected, and double these values. So 8, 8, and 12, and 6, 3, and 3. All right, let's position ourselves for a render. Let's see what we got. All right, here we go. I'll just hit pause during the render, guys. See you guys in a sec. Well guys, I quickly stopped the render because we need a bit more light. So I'm going to switch the HDRI file I selected. So image-based lighting, delete and recreate, which will allow us to select an image. And I'll go with a sky that I got, which is a bit brighter, which will give us something like this. Just tweak that a bit. Maybe not that one. Maybe I got one that I really like. We'll do that. Okay, something like that. And we need a little bit more light. So I'm going to go with create lights. And we'll do one more spotlight. I'm going to pull that up. And I'm going to pull that out. And I'm going to make sure they got ray trace shadows, which is good. Increase this. This should give us a fairly good idea. Okay. Let's try once more. Here we go. I won't pause this time, so you can just see what happens, right? Don't mind the background. That's just for additional lighting. That is actually a Tokyo airport scene. It's about the bell, so we'll look at that. It looks like a fairly new bell. One of the things that we can do, I won't do that in this tutorial because we're already going for an hour now, is you can actually try to apply a 3D texture file on it to roughen up the surface. That's one way you can go about it. You can also go into the poly mesh of the bell and tweak the vertices. So just select your vertices and manipulate them manually to create little dents and scratches on the bell and so forth. And you can also tone down the glossiness of the bell, right? To make it darker and older. But yeah, I think I'm okay with this. I'll just, it looks like it's going to take a few more minutes to complete the render. So I'll just quickly pause so you guys don't have to wait. Be back in a sec. Alright guys, there you go. So this is it, our Liberty Bell, or at least the Liberty Bell that I came up with. As you can see, there's still a lot you can tweak on this, but as usual, I don't want to go on forever. Typically, if you wanted to do this in great detail, it would take you at least twice as long. But I always try to get it into a 1-hour tutorial. And I always invite you to be really creative with this, make it your own, and come up with your own tweaks and details. Thank you guys for watching. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.